Okay, I'm not counting all my chickens before they're hatched, but so far, here we are up in the dashboard. Pbfarmr was the last firmware upgrade that I put on the machine when I was going back and forth between trying to factory reset when I was having loop issues and whatnot. That one board that we did hook up is in fact showing that it is back at the original 69 volts and 875 megahertz. So, and the chip temp looks reasonable. And we're still within the 5-minute run times. We're just building up to that. Hopefully we might even see it start to hash. I'm not sure. We're still under the 5-minute. We're seeing showing abnormal runtime, but we haven't hit the 5-minute mark yet. But we did see below here that we got 10 accepted and 0 rejected. Hopefully we can see it start hashing. That would be phenomenal. You know, we'll get that other board hooked up. There's a possibility that starting the board up out, starting the control board up without the hash boards connected could have allowed the control board to get like a hard foundation or hard reset. I'm not sure. Kind of like when you're in a car and you adjust something like, say, the timing on the engine, you're off a tooth on your timing belt. The car will not run as optimum as when the timing is correct, but see the CPU inside the vehicle will adjust and run the vehicle to its optimal potential even though the engine's out of time. And then say you replace the timing belt and then you got that tooth set correctly, the next time you drive it, you see that the car is running better, obviously, because you have the belt set correctly. There's a possibility that since the hash boards weren't hooked up, that the control board had an opportunity to take a breather, say, okay, there was nothing wrong with me and there's nothing hindering me from running like I'm supposed to run. And that created it to get out of that restart because it was just reboot loop every 5-minute runtime. Let's take a look here and refresh the Pbfarmr, see what it's reading now with that one board. Okay, we're still seeing abnormal hash rate. It's saying that it's accepted and that we're connected to the pool. Nothing's rejected. It's not showing anything here. The cool thing about the project that I'm a part of, connected to Unminable, so I can actually, sometimes if it's not showing within the hash rate display, you can see the miner connect to the pool and then come online. So let me just take a look here and see if KS1 2.4 gigahash. So it's actually starting to hash even though we're not seeing it on the Pbfarmr dashboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and power it down and hook the other board up as well and then see if we can continue to see growth or a connection still without a reboot or a turning off of the machine. I mean, actually, since I'm talking about it, I'm almost thinking that probably I should let it run on this hash board for 30 minutes or something to see if in fact it tries to turn off. Right now it's already a good sign that we're past 5 minutes and it's still running. I mean, and that the dashboard's still up and communicating with me correctly. And there we go. We see the hash going up there. It's saying 5-minute hash is at 551 at 8 minutes. We're looking good. Temps are looking good as well. I didn't, as you seen in the previous video, I don't know if it's going to be the same video as this, but I repasted it just to check. Maybe I didn't even need to repaste it for any air gaps, but I just want to follow the experience of you guys that do this before me. Of course, I'm new to all this. That if you suggest that maybe I need to repaste because of any air gaps that might be in the paste or whatnot, to do that first of all. Now, and this is another just piece of advice for you guys. That's what I'm learning from this situation, because every machine is different from what you guys have taught me. That here we are in this situation where it's stuck in this reboot loop. We're getting abnormal runtimes. We're not getting any hash rate. Just a complete almost shutdown of the system. And if you're still under warranty and you send it in, I mean, you're going to pay like $300 just to ship it back to the repair center. And what do? They probably start it up, unplugging the hash board just like I'm doing right now. Of course, they're not going to tell you that. They're not going to give you any insight to this, but that's what we do as a community. We figure this out together because you're going to have a month of downtime trying to send that in where, here you are troubleshooting it for yourself. You can also, take a razor blade and just, cut into the sticky on the QC label and get the cover to come off without actually breaking that, which can help you out if you take your time with that. But so refreshing the page, we're at 9 minutes. The hash rate's continuing to go up. Everything's looking good. It's looking good enough for me that I'm going to go ahead and power it down, plug the other board up, and see if the other board can respond here. All right. Okay, after like, I don't know, it's been quite a while. We went ahead and we hooked up the second board that we believed to be, well, we didn't believe it to be. We were hoping that everything was going to be golden because we got the control board to come up and actually communicate and function properly. But upon hooking up that second board, there could be an issue with that second board, because then the control board did, after a bit of time, shut down. Then it recalibrated, it tried to ramp back up and was on for a bit longer and then shut down again. I was hoping that maybe a third time's a charm, that it would break through its shutdown sequence and continue running, but it did not. Then once it got to that point, the control board went back into like a shutdown sequence, a rapid shutdown sequence, or a reboot loop type situation again. And I unplugged both the hash boards and still it was stuck in the reboot loop again. So I've unplugged the power, turned the power on to draw out any power out of the PSU and the machine itself. I'm letting it sit because, I mean, basically that's what I did before. Was it just sat this whole time. It sat all day long, may even sat for 24 hours or give or take before trying this troubleshooting method. So I'm just going to let it sit for some time so that every single chip in the machine, even though I did a power draw, can lose its power within the control board, I would assume, and then turn the machine, plug the machine back in, turn the machine on without any hash boards hooked up like I did previously, and allow the control board to wake itself up and get back to its normal state before plugging in that hash board that we got back running and it was actually hashing, because I'd rather have something hashing than nothing hashing while I figure out, am I going to turn this thing into a KS2? Am I just going to get another board and run it as a KS1 still? What am I going to do? I would really like to turn it into a KS3. So I did see that there's boards on Ice River for a reasonable price, reasonable than any other place that's trying to sell them secondary. It's like they're buying them from Ice River and then upping the price. It's ridiculous. And then get the correct power cables and stuff. I sent an email to them because I did not see hash boards on there, but I'm going to do a little bit more research and see if I can find hash boards somewhere, if in fact Ice River does not message me back or gives me any insight to picking up some hash boards, because I know that their machines, they're selling out all the time. So, I mean, how that goes. So, yeah, more will be revealed.
Jsizzl. 425 win. Shout out to the social. Bitty bitty beast.